It's year 2 for Bob Boldon. It's time to preview 2014-2015 Ohio women's basketball. I'm Russ Eisenstein, the voice of the Bobcats. The coach joins us now. Let's talk about laying the foundation. Obviously, last year you wanted more wins, but I think the biggest goal was to establish what you want to have done in your program. Did last year accomplish that for you into the offseason and prior to this year too?
Yeah, I think we've got a lot accomplished last year. Obviously, we didn't win the way we wished we would have won, but we learned a lot about basketball last year, and hopefully that will help us as we move into this season.
Yeah. How has the offseason gone for you in preparation for the opener against Murray State?
I think it's been good. You know, we had a nice foundation with a large number of returners, and we were able to start teaching, and I think they've done a good job of learning. And it was it was a little bit further along in the learning and teaching process this year than we were last year at this time.
Yeah. When you talk about how you want it to look on the floor, year 2, it probably should be where you would like it to be a little bit more offensive flow, defensive flow. Is that something that you expect from the start?
Yes, we should be a better basketball team. That's our job. Our players have worked very hard. I think they have a better understanding of what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish offensively and defensively. So hopefully we look a little bit more in sync and look more like a basketball team, and that hopefully correlates to more wins.
Yeah, 9 wins last year for the Bobcats, 4 in Mid-American Conference play, but played very hard down the stretch as well, and you saw signs of what hopefully can be a very good season too. Junior class and sophomore class, obviously. It's interesting to take a look at Lexi Baldwin, Kiana Black, and Kiara Lampkins. Those are 3 players that could do a lot for you this year, and progression is important for them to start off this season, huh?
Yeah, they could. They got the one nice thing about last year is a lot of kids got a lot of minutes. Not always were they real good minutes, but we learned from those minutes, and game minutes are invaluable when it comes to teaching and learning. So I think those 3 could lead to a very good season, and I don't know who else will, but I'm sure somebody else will step up, and I'm excited to see who that might be.
Yeah. Kiana Black had a tremendous season last year. It was her sophomore season into a junior season. She's getting accolades from the conference, preseason first teamer in the league. That's a big step for the program to have that sort of recognition for a player, and that's certainly something you want more of moving forward, but it's good that she's had that now too.
Yeah, it is. She's worked hard at her game. You know, she's by far our best scorer, can score in a variety of ways, and it's nice to see her get recognized by our peers for what she's been able to do to this point. And hopefully we can win some postseason awards by winning some basketball games and putting her in position to win some of those awards.
Yeah, the cool thing this year is it's completely flipped from last year where you didn't have a home game for months seemingly. Now you open on the road, but 6 of the first 8 are at home. That's a great breath of fresh air as opposed to last year, isn't it?
Very much so. I'm thrilled about that. Coach Jackson worked really hard to make that happen, and I think it'll just be good for our kids and for the community, for our fans to be able to see us on a regular basis rather than once a month in November and December. So it should be a good thing for us.
Beyond the home games, your thoughts on the schedule, the lay of the land for you this year?
I think it's challenging. I think it's where we should be. To me, the home games were a big part of it. We did everything we could to get games here in Athens, Ohio, and hopefully it pays off for us.
Yeah, we talk about X's and O's a lot, but what's some of the biggest stress points that you want for your ball club this year? You talked about making the steps and being a better team, but from an X's and O's standpoint, what do you need to see to make that jump?
Well, we need to be able to understand both our offense and defensive philosophies, and I think that's what last year did. It enabled us to learn what we're supposed to do, even when we didn't do it. At least now I think we have a better idea of what we are supposed to do. Hopefully we can do it more regularly, and that'll lead to more success.
Yeah, I think you as a head coach, we talked about it prior to taping this, you're very even keel as a person and as a head coach, and I think that's probably something that you want to impart upon your players too. Not everybody is the same as far as the demeanor goes, but the highs never too high, the lows never too low. Does that play into what you bring to the table too?
It's a long game. Yeah. You know what I mean? At some point the other team's going to go on a run. And if that's going to destroy you, then you got to be a little bit tougher than that mentally. And you got to understand that just because you went on an 8-0 run, that doesn't mean that you're going to necessarily win the basketball game.
Game's not over.
No, it's a long game, and it's a long season. You know, if you win a couple in a row, that's great. If you lose a couple in a row, that's okay too. You know what I mean? We're going to play 30-some games, hopefully, into the tournament and things of that sort. So I think you really got to be cautious about getting too excited or too disappointed over any one event.
There was momentum from the end of last season, and bottom line, you just want to see strides and steps. It takes a while, doesn't it, to build a program to where you want it to be?
It does, and it's not, a lot of teams that try to turn things around experience it. We'd like to be good tomorrow. We may or may not be good tomorrow, and that's okay. It's part of what we got to do, and as long as we can learn from what we do wrong, I think you're okay. When you stop learning, I think you've got a real problem.
Thanks for the visit. Good luck this year.
Absolutely. Thank you.
That's head coach Bob Boldon. I'm Russ Eisenstein. All the games are broadcast on WOUB AM in Athens, on OhioBobcats.com as well. Jake Kermata will have the play-by-play duties there. Should be a fun 2014-2015 with Bobcat women's basketball. That's our preview of the season. For Tanner Smith and for the coach, I'm Russ Eisenstein. This is Bobcat TV.